G'day everyone. So let's talk about becoming more like the oil in the machine rather than the cog. So basically, when you're the cog in the machine, you can't move right. You're endlessly turning, stuck in the same position. You can't ever escape the machine. Your sole purpose is to just do the same thing over and over and over again. Uh, so bad consumer habits and consumerism is what basically keeps you trapped as a cog in the machine, unable to ever achieve any long term financial stability because you're always taking on debt, buying new things, paying off the debt, and it's this endless cycle that keeps you trapped. So, consumerism is the trap that keeps you spinning in the machine. You're stuck in the same spot and I'm unable to move freely. Whereas when you stop consuming all but the essential things you require, you achieve more financial stability in your life and you become more like the oil in the machine. The oil in the machine can move around, you still serve the machine, still serve its purpose, but you're able to do things with your life, make changes, and you're not stuck endlessly spinning in that same spot until you eventually wear out, at which point you're replaced by another cog in the machine. So, this might be a career change. Let's say you've been working 15 years in a career and you decide, you know what, I'm completely tired of this, I'm burnt out from it, I need a change. So, when you're the oil in the machine and you're not servicing debt anymore, this gives you the option to maybe work part time and go and study and change your career, take a new direction in life. Maybe you're thinking about doing van life. You'd like to travel around for a couple of years. Maybe pick up some seasonal work for a couple of months of the year while you're doing this to help support yourself. And this is, of course, possible when you're the oil in the machine and not the cog anymore. Or maybe you want to think about switching to more of an off-grid lifestyle. Where you're off-grid, but maybe you pick up a day or two of part-time work here and there, so you can still have a lot of enjoyment in your life. And by becoming the oil in the machine, this becomes more achievable, right? Whereas when you're the cog in the machine and you're just in this endless cycle of spending and debt, you can't really move. You're trapped. You're stuck in the same spot, and you have to put up with what you're doing. So I think when you're young, right, you really don't care too much about this sort of thing. But as you get older, you definitely start to feel the burnout of the endless grind, 9 to 5 lifestyle. And when you do get older, you start thinking about, what can I do with my life from here? And of course, if you're trapped as a cog in the machine, there's not really much you can do other than keep turning and serving the machine. And it's very hard to get away from that. Um, I'd love to leave the machine. I've thought about this a lot. Thought about off grid life, van life, um, and what my options could be a bit later on down the track. Um, and I realise that I may not ever leave the machine. I think the ultimate goal of working part time and still maintaining a good quality of life uh, is a good goal. Then you can go on holidays and do things with your life. You can still socialise as well. It gives you a sense of self worth when you are working still. Whereas when you stop working, you lose that sense of self worth, and it can really grind on you mentally. Um, so I think being the oil in the machine is probably a good option. Um, and I've learnt over time that buying expensive things or keeping up with the latest trends will just keep you stuck basically as a cog in the machine. Um, and if you can get away from that and embrace more of a minimalistic lifestyle, then it's much easier to achieve a greater financial freedom and move away from being a cog in the machine. I do see a lot of videos actually about people doing like a no buy year where they're not going to buy anything but the essential items, and I think that's definitely a great starting point because it forces you to switch your mentality from buying things, because buying things is an addiction, into learning that you can live without those things and putting up with things that maybe aren't 100%, that maybe they're a little bit worn out or whatever, but that's okay. It still serves its purpose, it still works, and you can live with it. Um, and at the end of the day, if you're constantly replacing things that are worn out with new things, entropy will always win, right? Like things rust, break, wear out, corrode. The shine always wears off of it like a new penny, and if you're forever trying to find that new penny, then you're always going to be in debt and always going to be a slave to consumerism. So I think becoming more like the oil in the machine should be a more desirable goal for a lot of us, especially in this cost of living crisis, and things are just getting more and more expensive, and if you don't rein in your spending, then you're forever going to be a slave to the system and a cog in the machine that just can't ever escape until the point at which you wear out. So I hope this video makes you think a little bit differently about things. Drop a comment below on your thoughts about it, and what are your desires? Are you fine just endlessly working? Would you like to leave the machine one day? Do you think about van life, off-grid life? Be interested to know what other people hope to achieve later on down the track in their lives. And if you like the video too, then give us a thumbs up, Helps us out. Cheers.